There's a lot of theories out there of where the shot and everything came from for Charlie Kirk, and I'm gonna be using USA Taylor again because you got the theory saying that he shot from behind or he shot from this side or like this third story area. And what he does is he stands at least in the corner of that one area. Well, first off, he stands behind directly up above where Charlie was at, where he shot, and then he also stands on the side where people say it must be. But he really gets to kind of pointing some stuff out and showing how easy it would be from where Tyler Robinson, the supposed killer, was at, to shooting Charlie. And he just kind of starts laying some things out. And if people just think logically about it and stop using Google Earth and all that, the maps, to see what's going on, you actually have to physically see the area to understand what could or could not be. So listen to what he has to say.
So I'm at UVU today, where the tragic assassination of Charlie Kirk took place. The area directly underneath me, I'll show you guys some footage and splice it in. That's where Charlie Kirk was actually assassinated. And I see a lot of theories going around online. That's the main reason I'm here today about, he was shot from behind, he was shot from the side over here. But people don't realize, because they're looking at Google Maps and drone footage and other footage along those lines, they don't actually realize how close this was and the way that it was lined up. So if you just look at the Losi Center sign right here, that ladder directly above it, that's where the alleged shooter, Tyler Robinson, lay down with his rifle and fired the shot that ultimately took Charlie Kirk's life. And so keep in mind, I am right above where Charlie Kirk was shot. It doesn't get much clearer of an angle than that. And like I said, we're really just here to dispel the crazy theories we are seeing online. I mean, it's getting to the point of where it's uncontrollable, and I understand it. People don't trust the media, people don't trust the FBI, and they have good reason not to. But this is about as clear-cut as it gets right here. Is you can't be better aligned than where the alleged shooter, Tyler Robinson, took the shot. I'll put it this way, is I could throw a football fairly easily and hit that flag, hit where Kirk was sitting the day he was shot. And if you pan around right here, the camera perspective, and this is where a lot of the confusion comes in, it doesn't really capture how close this is, but right above the ladder, up top on this perch to the very right, is where the alleged shooter was actually standing or laying down. So, like I said, the camera's lenses and all of this, it doesn't really capture how close this is, but realistically, you could easily be where the shooter was at, and you could throw a baseball as well that far. I don't know about a football unless you got a pretty good arm on you, but this is not an unbelievable shot. People are saying that, he had to be a professional assassin. The latest one that I'm hearing is it's Israel. Like, anybody that has basic gun training, that goes to the range a few times a week, and put yourself in the shoes and kind of the upbringing of somebody who was raised into a police family, which I was, is theoretically speaking, anybody that has any sort of firearm proficiency could have easily taken this shot. And a common misconception that I also see is, they shot him in the neck, which obviously that is correct. But people think that at a downward incline, just like this, at this sharp of an incline, that the bullet is going to have bullet drop. That's not how it actually works. Is if you're aiming for center mass and you take a shot where the alleged shooter was at to where Charlie is at, wherever you're aiming, that's going to actually hit slightly higher. Hence the reasoning on if you're aiming for center mass, you're most likely going to hit somebody in the neck or in the facial area or just miss entirely. Some people are actually saying that the real shooter took the shot here, and that is all based on essentially a flash that popped up in this window. And I'll tell you from firsthand experience being on the campus, a lot of the times when you have speakers in this area, you have media organizations right here. So that theory is literally coming from not the trajectory of the bullet. There's no actual evidence of that. They're saying that, yeah, he might have been on the stairwell here and taken the shot. But this railing right here with this kind of thin line of material is where people are claiming to have seen the flash on video that lines up with the shot. But if you actually look at the angle that would have taken, the trajectory makes absolutely no sense. So it's even gotten to the point where I saw it yesterday that people were posting videos of trapdoors and cellars. And one, it clearly shows they've never done manual labor a day in their life. Welcome to the first world. You're welcome. What you're seeing right next to the roses, which is where Charlie was killed, those are utility access doors, and those were completely visible prior to the shooting and after the shooting, where they restoned the area. And people are bringing into question, why would you reconstruct the area right after the shooting? And it wasn't right after the shooting. It was nearly a week afterwards that they actually brought all of this new material in and ripped up the grass and replaced it with this stone. And the reason for that being is this is a public space. This is a university. You see this time and time again when a tragedy like this happens. It's not some grand conspiracy. Like I said, I understand people questioning things. I get it. I question things as well. But really, trapdoors, guys, like, if you're going to question things, at least think about it before you talk. Is you have his friends and his family on social media, and imagine, just put yourself in their shoes for a moment of every time they log on to Twitter or Facebook or Instagram, they're seeing this brand new grandiose conspiracy on how it was an inside job, it was his security, or it was his best friend who was standing behind him, or a man standing right here with a palm gun because he adjusted his sleeve. Like, can we just not be retarded? I'll put it frankly. Is you've seen the alignment, you've seen the other angles that we've provided that make absolutely no sense. You've seen the eyewitness interviews all saying that the shot came from right above them, the people that were standing in that area. So let's just put it to rest. Is yes, absolutely investigate, absolutely hold the FBI accountable, ask questions as you should be about the motive of the shooter and everything of the shooter. But like, can we just not continue on with the baseless accusations and stuff that can be easily disproven if you just actually come down here yourself and know the area? Show you how easy and accessible the actual shooter's perch was in this instance, because once again, trying to misspell conception so people can stop engagement farming online, because we live in an age of social media clout. But keep in mind, like I said, there's countless students here, okay, at the time of the shooting. This is the connector between the two buildings. You see that there's a staircase access, very easy. There's an access over here. Where I am standing directly in front of me is where the alleged shooter was laying when he assassinated Charlie Kirk. So obviously these barriers weren't here and aren't here. All you have to do is you simply walk across here, walk up these stairs, and you can walk straight to the shooter's perch in under 30 seconds. Lay down, prepare if you had your rifle there before, or take it out of your gun bag, and you take that shot. You can be in and out in under a minute, realistically. So people keep saying that this is a professional, highly trained shooter, this assassin. It's like, guys, you guys need to be grounded in reality for a minute. If you don't believe me, come down to the campus yourself, investigate a little bit. But it is very obvious what happened. Is you have multiple witnesses that have proven that, yes, they saw the shooter both from these angles, from angles down there. I mean, he was spotted before he actually took the shot. But this takes less than a minute to come in, set up, take the shot, and leave. It's not some crazy conspiracy.